Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, we talk about Pakistan's home series against New Zealand, the 5-match T20 international series that now takes all center stage. Pakistan's first training session was cancelled due to excessive rain in the twin cities of Rawalpindi and Islamabad. Of course, Kiwis training session starts from today. The first match of the 5-match series is going to be played from the 18th of this month. So interesting. We'll talk about both the teams' combinations, the playing 11s, and also some inside news that we can get. We'll bring it to your table as well. We'll talk about many things on the show. And also, I think it's very important to understand, I've highlighted this again and again, that this is a very, very important series for Pakistan because if you talk about the distance to the World Cup, you've got a couple of months remaining. And before the World Cup, you're playing, the number of series that you're playing are going to be immensely important to decide your combinations, your playing 11s. Pakistan should not be that team this time who announces their squad at the very end. So I think that's very important that we can have a structured approach to World Cup selection as well. So we'll talk about that. Then we move on to the West Indies women's tour to Pakistan. West Indies women's cricket team has arrived in Karachi. A series includes 3 1 internationals and 5 T20 international matches as well. All of these 8 matches are being played in Karachi. So I think it's a great sign. Earlier we hosted South Africa, and I think we're in store for a great series up ahead as well. So we'll talk about that. Then we talk about the Aslan Shah Hockey Cup. Pakistan hockey team's training camp is underway in Karachi. 35 players are participating in the camp. Tournament is going to start from 4th of May. The national team will leave on the 2nd to participate in this international event. So once again, of course, another tournament, and hopeful that Pakistan is playing result-oriented hockey this time as well. A team management was also announced for the hockey team, so we'll of course highlight that as well. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, in studios we've been joined by cricket commentator, international broadcaster, presenter, and our sports expert, Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Asif?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm perfect, thank you.
We've also been joined by sports expert, somebody who happens to analyze the game pretty well, Mr. Rizwan Haider, also joins us on the show. Assalamu alaikum, Rizwan. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed. Lovely to be here.
Great to have you on the show. We've also been joined by sports expert, Mr. Malik Usman. Assalamu alaikum, Malik Usman. How are you, sir?
Walaikum assalam. I'm doing well, thank you.
Right, Usman, let's start the discussion with you now. We, of course, know that this is a very, very important series. We've highlighted that no matter people have a rhetoric that New Zealand's strength is not there, but at least Pakistan should be pretty sure of their combinations because like we said that we've got very little time now to prepare for the World Cup.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very important series for Pakistan, let alone the opposition, how strong or weak they are. We don't mind that. Once they are here to play competitive cricket, it's a competitive game in itself. And with few players returning back to the Pakistan squad, some new to the Pakistan squad like Usman Khan and all, I think this is going to be a test of their combination. And they have to work out what combination they are going to play. And that could take the game forward and into the World Cup as well, that what planning is going into the mind of these players. And I'm, as far as I'm concerned, I came to know about some of the things that they want to be far more flexible going into the World Cup rather than being so rigid that they are not going to split up their openers or they are going to have a very rigid batting lineup or bowling lineup or the playing 11, and that is not going to be the case. I came to know about these things that they are going to be very flexible about team selection and about batting order as well, and they are going to try a couple of players in different combinations so that they can come out with their best playing 11 and best playing 15 that is going to feature into this World Cup. And I think that is going to be very, very important for Usman Khan. These 12 matches are going to be extremely crucial, and with Fakhar Zaman and Saim Ayub, we have come to know that probably they might be opening and Babar will feature as number 3. He's not going to open the innings and probably Rizwan will be at 4 and Usman Khan might feature at 5 or 6, and that is going to be a very challenging role for him. And what he has gone through after returning to Pakistan and skipping UAE nationality and playing for their national team, I think it's going to be a big challenge for them. Coming further about Muhammad Amir and Imad Wasim, I think that is going to be a big challenge, how they are going to get acclimatized into this side and how they are going to assimilate in this team. I think one of the reasons why Muhammad Amir has suddenly become so important is because of the injury of Muhammad Haris. I came to know that probably he might not be his 100%. Yes. Muhammad Haris, I beg your pardon, it is Haris Rauf. And I think he's not going to be extremely fit going into the World Cup, so they need to have a backup in Muhammad Amir, so he's going to be very crucial. And Imad Wasim is like for like changes, a like for like change for Muhammad Nawaz. And going into the history of Imad Wasim, I think is a slightly troublemaker also, and for that you needed a very strong-headed captain in Babar Azam. So all in all, the picture is looking pretty good, and let's hope that Pakistan utilizes this 12 matches pretty well and they go into the World Cup as one of the favorites.
Certainly, Rizwan, a lot of insight that we've gotten courtesy of Mr. Malik Usman. And I think one thing that you'd probably be interested in is that opening combination, because for time and time again, we've talked about Pakistan's first 6 overs of the power play.
I think Usman has painted a very rosy picture that it's going to be a very fluid and flexible batting order. And then again, he became very, very rigid when he said, this is going to be number 1 and number 2 and Babar at 3, Rizwan at 4 and Usman at 5. So I don't see any flexibility. Pakistan has never learned from its mistakes. That's the biggest problem for me. We are scared of trying things. I mean, other than the opening combination, the biggest problem for me has been in the last 2 years, whenever we have won the toss, we have decided to chase.
Yes.
So every time the other team wins the toss, as an experiment, they make sure that Pakistan bats first, so they can also have a chase against Pakistan. But we seem scared of that. And if that is going to be your mental approach, then whatever combination you have, it's not going to work out. You're going to win a couple of matches batting second. But whenever you get to bat first, and toss is usually 50-50, so half the time the other team is going to win the toss and make sure that you bat first and they get to chase. So if your approach is just based on the fact that you're going to win the toss and put the other team in and then have a chase, it's probably not going to work. I think the reason I'm just going to be say one more thing. The reason you mispronounced the name of Haris is because half the Pakistan population is covered with the name Muhammad. The rest half is covered by the name Khan. So that is why there was a confusion, because you covered the 95% of the population with just these two surnames.
Yeah, that is true.
Most of the I have actually started feeling like either Seinfeld or Jerry the King Lawyer on the show. I even sometimes feel like Steve Harvey on the show as well, because we've got a fantastic panel who are exploring every insight going into the game and these players as well. But Asif, I think hilarious stuff. I guess Usman and you had a lot of fun, but bringing in Rizwan makes a very, very, I think, destructive pace attack on the show. But how do you see this? Because if, let's suppose, if we see this combination of Fakhr and Saim opening, Babar at 3, Rizwan going at 4, and then the way things proceed onwards is very tricky. But like I said, that this would be something very new that we would be exploring.
Well, I think that without Babar and Rizwan, you cannot complete Pakistan team. As same like without Rizwan Bhai, you cannot complete our panel, because the way Rizwan Bhai has started things and explaining that what's the difference between Muhammad and the last name
Khan
and Khan, it's really important and it's interesting as well. But for me, both of my colleagues, both of my respected brothers, they've said rightly. But once again, the problem is the mindset. This is what we had discussed earlier, right before the show, that how your parents are grooming you and how the Pakistan Cricket Board and the rest of the management is treating with the Pakistan cricket team and the players. The news are coming, which are definitely really sad, that how Babar Azam selected as skipper and then the Usman Khan. The way Usman Bhai was saying about Usman Khan, that you have only 12 matches and then we don't know about your future. Either you'll be playing for Pakistan, you're going back to UAE, and where you got a ban for 5 years. What would be your future? This is the main problem for me. That let's talk about Sachin Tendulkar. How in the age of 15, 16, nobody knew that who is Sachin Tendulkar. But after the career of 20, 24 years, that everyone says that the one of the greats of the game. And then Kane Williamson, Virat Kohli, they all came from proper grooming, and their cricket boards, their schools, their colleges, they built them and they groomed them as a good person, as a good skipper throughout their career.
I think you're trying to say that human development is also very important.
Well, I mean, this is the problem, Rizwan Bhai, that in Pakistan, let's talk about, I want to stick towards cricket only. I don't want to talk about the other departments, about your departments or Usman Bhai's department. The only thing is that the Pakistan Cricket Board is still not learning with the mistake, which was the point you made earlier, that we are repeating those mistakes again. And I think if the chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board, the day one he has said that I will not compromise and I will not see any sort of disruption towards the selection, and I will go with the merit. If that's the case,
merit, and he said no compromise on discipline. These two things were very particular.
Yes. So if he'll go with these two things, then of course then the future of the Pakistan cricket is bright. But if, let's suppose, it's a big if that the selection committee is not following the same rules, then what will happen? Then we will see that the Amir and Imad's case we had discussed earlier. Yesterday we had a long discussion that what will happen. For me, once again, that the national T20 for the T20 team and for the Test or ODI team, the domestic circuit is really, really important. I think if the players who's not participating in domestic cricket and just coming towards from the Pakistan Super League, just got selected from Pakistan Super League, he won't make any effect. Let's take an example of Haris Rauf. He got selected through Pakistan Super League. Where is he? He only plays in T20s. He won't be good for ODIs. Either he's not available for Test cricket. So I think that we are not going for the long-term planning. We're just going towards tournament to tournament, or maybe series to series. We're just planning ourselves.
In all of this, it's also a blessing in disguise at Pakistan, because they're not playing a test match right now. Shan Masood would feel very secure. There is no focus now on that.
The good thing is that he's playing county cricket.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's really important. Ahmed, either you are playing here domestic cricket or county cricket. Somehow you're learning some new things. And it's really important for the long term.
Right.
And I must say that if you're not playing Test cricket and if your T20 team is not performing well, then what?
Well, interestingly, Usman, I want to talk about a subject that we have all explored right now. Mostly in Pakistan, what happens is that cricketers tend to join the team management. Former cricketers tend to make up of most of the positions at the Pakistan Cricket Board as well. These are the same players who at one time have also suffered because of the system, have also suffered the same problems that current players might be going through. So they have a better idea of on-ground realities and can probably help in policy making that would eventually help the players as well. But that is also something that we don't see because of the insecurities that prevail in the team management as well.
So first and foremost, what an employee wants is a job security. Nobody is secure in this arena. Even the chairman is not secure. See, we have so many chairmen for the past 1.5 years. So that is one of the reasons. And once a new regime comes, it undoes what the previous regime has done. Half its time is gone in that period. And the other period, when they start blossoming something, their tenure is over. So that is one of the reasons you need stability for everything. You need an agenda to be executed and wait for the fruits it brings out. But just because you are only inserting the seeds and it does not even come, its roots are not even developed, and you just crush it off, you don't get the tree which you have desired to get one. So that is one of the reasons. And you're talking about the previous players. I think looking at in a positive sense, they should be well aware of what challenges they have been facing and how to overcome those. But I don't know how much human development has gone into that they want to undo those things, those scenarios which they have been facing, and bring and nurture the new players so that they can take Pakistan forward. So that is one of the reasons why Pakistan is always struggling, and they have not developed professionally as a board, as a team management, or as a team in general.
Rizwan, do you also believe that the only way towards stability, because we're seeing some sort of it now?
I think I would slightly disagree with Usman. Yes, ex-players need to be part of the team, but in certain areas like selection, maybe coaching if they've done the coaching. But administratively or operationally, when a team needs an administrator, you need to have proper administrator. You can't have an ex-player to have to go as a team manager when he knows jack about anything like administration. We think administration is very easy, but it's an art. It's you have to be subtle, you have to be strict sometimes, and ex-players don't realize that. Just counting on your past experience that my manager was like that and I try to copy him, it's not that simple. I think you need to have proper administrators with the team when they go, because their grooming is important. They know how to conduct themselves, and they can be like teachers for the players, because our players lack human development.
But I think when we talk about, we still continue with that concept that once you've got 5 T20s and if you're trying to explore new combinations, then you've got plenty of time to do that as well. So Asif, on a final note, very quickly, I'd like to ask you that New Zealand is going with that approach. In these 5 T20s, what can we expect from the Pakistan cricket team?
Well, I think I'm still confused that who will be the opener batters, who will be the opener pair. Either Fakhar Zaman will go with Rizwan or Babar Azam will come on number 3. Then what will happen with Saim Ayub? And then you have Usman Khan, a specialist opener. Will he go on number 4, number 5? What will happen with Azam Khan? Will he play or not? What about Haris Rauf? Will bowl with a new ball? So I think there's still the confused position and confused situation. So in this scenario, I will say, good luck Pakistan.
Good luck Pakistan indeed as well. Rizwan, 5 T20s, ample amount of time to try some of these new combinations.
Why fix it if it's not broke? And I think we have a very, very good combination. Rizwan and Babar have been there for the last 2 years. We will make it to the semi-finals, or probably be contenders for the semi-final, and that's about it. That's the maximum you can hope for with this combination, and I think we'll stick to it. I don't think even if the new players fail for 1 or 2 matches, they'll be taken out, and for the World Cup they'll be going with Rizwan and Babar. The management thinks that that's the right decision. I don't agree with it, but we need to support the team, whatever the case.
Right, so Usman, out of all of us, you're pretty sure of what combinations Pakistan is going with, and indeed I would second you on that as well. But 5 T20s on the competitive side.
I think it's not just about 5 T20s. It's, we have to take it as 12 T20s. I think this combination is going to fluctuate between these games as well. I don't mind the batting lineup I was talking about. I think that is pretty cool as far as I'm concerned, because the first 6 overs, if these 2 batsmen get going, and that is all the whole of Pakistan was talking about, that Rizwan and Babar, they just don't get going in the first 6 overs, and you need to go helter and skelter. And once you have these 2 players up the order, and you have Babar at number 3, and you can fluctuate Rizwan maybe at 4, or maybe you can promote the batsman from down the order to up in the order. I don't mind that, having Usman at 4, 5, and then having Chachu Iftikhar, and then having Azam Khan and all. I think that is a pretty good batting lineup. And talking about the bowling lineup, let's be fair about it. Okay, I'm against this criteria by which Imad Wasim and Amir have come into the side, but I think having these 2 players in the side, it makes the team stronger.
Well, certainly, and we do believe that that is the way forward as well, to have all of these combinations tried and tested before the World Cup, not in the World Cup. But thank you very much, Malik Usman, Asif Ahmed and Rizwan Haider for joining us on the show. That wraps it up from me and the boys. It's goodbye for now.